What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, 2 days ago I gave you an update on Rndr, letting you know what its price was doing and what I was expecting, and we do now have some updated metrics and price movement, and so I want to give you another update on what's happening. And so with that in mind, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. So looking at Rndr here, what we can see is that its price is still holding up on that point of support, in which I told you all would be incredibly important in the last video. I said, listen guys, $9.36 to $9.95 is going to be an incredibly important support level, and if Rndr's price is capable of flipping this previous point of resistance into some support right here, then I think we're in a position in which we could see Rndr really make a move, not only just up to $11.70, but possibly even higher, back up to the range high around $14 or $13.90 up here. And so obviously because of that, I said, look, I'm going to continue to update you as we do try to see Rndr add some support here and hold this as support to continue upwards, because if it fails to do so in the same breath, then we really might see Rndr continue back downwards to some of these lower levels, as possibly as low as $8. And so obviously you can see the importance of this zone right here. Now, with that in mind, we actually do have a little bit of an update of the support establishment that Rndr's trying to put in. What we can see here is that it is still holding up support, okay? And this is good because we are getting wicks. You see how if I draw this line straight across right here, you see how anything under this line right here is a wick? It means that under, let's get it perfect. That works. Okay. You see how every time we went under this line, it's a wick? It just goes to show that the bulls are really stepping in. The bulls are really stepping in. They're pushing this thing because it's not even able to close under that level. That's a good thing. Not only that, but on top of that, we saw this beautiful move to the upside off of this. So off of this final pull to the downside here, I mean, we saw Rndr put in a pump of, 9% over the course of a couple days. Not bad at all. But we do have one thing that is a little bit concerning that I definitely think you need to watch out for, because although this is looking good, I'm definitely not convinced quite yet that we're not about to do something like this. And the reason being is because we just saw the daily MACD flash red for the first time since this pullback back here a couple weeks ago. What you can see is that Rndr was holding up quite well within this range, especially throughout the move, but as soon as momentum started to wane off, you can see that with the MACD, right? These moving averages started to converge together, and of course, as that generally happens, it means that the bulls are slowing down and that the bears are starting to pull the price back down a little bit. And what you can see here is that we got this convergence, meaning that we saw these lines cross each other, which is a signal that we're heading into micro bearish territory. And it's also even further signified by this red box printing. Of course, when the red box prints, as you can see, it's generally a sign of some negativity. And so because of that, historically speaking, when this red box does flash, we do see Rndr's price continue downwards a little bit. Now, just kind of looking at history, let's kind of look at what's happened when the red box is flashed. So it happened, of course, right here. It happened, of course, right here. And it happened, of course, right here. So looking at this thing, in the moments in which the red box flashes, you can see in this example, we saw Rndr's price fall about roughly 20%. In this example, this was the beginning, really, of the pullback. We saw it kind of consolidate, but inevitably it did pull back, over 43%. And then from the time it flashed right here, we did see that it pulled back roughly 14%. Okay, so about 20-something percent, 40%, and 14% in the last 3 times in which Rndr's price, or the MACD for Rndr, has given us the convergence in which signals the red box. Okay, this right here. Boom. So what does that mean for us? Well, it doesn't mean a much, right? Because there are moments where you see things called fake outs, which is basically like it's going to converge, it's going to give us the red box, then it's going to immediately swing back upwards, it's going to immediately go back green, and then it's not really going to turn into anything. That does happen every now and then. So it doesn't guarantee that price is going to pull back, but it definitely does mean that Rndr's price needs to go, and it needs to go pretty soon. Because if Rndr's price over the next couple of days doesn't start making this move upwards, and I'm talking about breaking into the $11 range and really looking to make this move, it means that the door is now open for Rndr to very probably do something like this, right? Where it uses this, comes back down, loses support, and heads down to the lower $9.30 level. And you guys know, if it loses support, and if we are unable to hold $9.30, I think we're heading back down to the lower $8 level. I think that's where we're going, especially if we can interact with this little trend line that's going to be there. And so because of that, I think that this is an early signal that we need to be even more cautious right now. We need to be watching even more closely, because this could be the early identifying sign that the pullback is on the way, and that we need to be prepared for that if that does happen. So like I said, it doesn't guarantee it, but it definitely increases the likelihood, especially if Rndr's price isn't able to make this move to the upside over the next few days. So I will continue to update you. As I mentioned before, this was just a general update on that last video. I do encourage you to go watch that last video if this one is confusing you a bit, and then rewatch this video, because then it'll make a lot of sense. And so make sure you do go check that out, and of course make sure you guys do stay tuned. I know I posted 2 other videos today, a Bitcoin video and a Solana video, so if you do find interest in those cryptos, feel free to go check those out, as well well as subscribing to the channel if you are new here and you do enjoy my content. But with that in mind, guys, I have more vids dropping for you tomorrow, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.